Hey, we're back, everybody.
Yes,
Thanks for clicking on
are.
our thumbnail. Welcome back to a little show called Roll
With the troll.
And, of course, we're here with my co-host, the voice of reason. She's going to try to make sense out of all the chaos that is probably going to happen as we talk about Cobra Kai Season 5.
Yeah.
And, frankly, Cobra Kai Seasons 4 and Cobra Kai Season 3 and everything else.
2-1.
Why Johnny Lawrence drinks Coors Banquet.
Yes.
Now, let's get right in and pummel Daniel on this. Daniel has been mocking Johnny for drinking Coors Banquet since Season 1.
Yeah.
Or enjoy your Coors, Johnny. Like basically, Daniel's like,
he's a kid from Reseda.
I'm from Reseda, but I'm an elitist asshole now.
Yeah.
Now I got a few bucks. I can afford Hunter Biden's artwork. I'm hot shit. I go to nice places. I drink nice drinks. I get margaritas.
Martinis.
Johnny, martinis, right. Johnny is just this alcoholic who drinks cheap beer. And then we find out in Cobra Kai Season 4, there's a reason why Johnny drinks his Coors Banquet, isn't there?
There is.
Yes. He got an endorsement deal with Coors Banquet where Johnny could, that's what happened. It was off screen. Yes. They after his martial arts in the 80s, they said, we are going to hook you up. You drink Coors Banquet forever.
They did not go to an 18-year-old and set up an endorsement deal for Coors.
Well, it happened off screen, but it's what. No, so that's obviously not what happened. Yeah. But the story, voice of reason, why don't you tell the story about why Johnny drinks his Coors Banquet, as was demonstrated in Cobra Kai Season 4.
Well, we see very young Johnny in that season opening up a box of mementos that he keeps from his father. And inside that box is an empty can of Coors Banquet. So this is, when he drinks this, it's like a tribute to his dad. It's the only connection that he really has with his dad.
You're calling it tribute?
Yeah.
I'd even go so far as to think maybe Johnny likes to pretend he's drinking it with his dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that like he's having a beer with him.
Sure.
In a way.
Yeah.
That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. This is why I always say dads are so important. This is, this illustrates how important dads are. If that's the only thing that he has to hold on to from his dad, that's what he's going to cling to. It's beer.
Yeah, this is a really interesting idea. I love the idea that they crowbarred in because, especially when you think about it, guys, this is a unique thing that we don't really see in other TV shows and other movies and shit. And I'm not joking. I'm not even being a dick. In Season 1, this was clearly used as a trope, as like a stereotype to better define Johnny. That he's not just an alcoholic and he's not just kind of broke, but he even drinks cheap beer. You know what I mean? And it kind of, I remember in my day, it was Milwaukee's Best. If you drank Milwaukee's Best, there were two things we knew about you. For one, you were not going to spend much money on beer. Two, you have the shits.
Oh, my God.
Like, we knew both of those things, and we continued to drink it. I mean, it just, tried to avoid it on dates. But Johnny drinking Coors Banquet, I felt like was their way of letting you know right away, Johnny definitely drinks cheap beer. He's just about the alcohol getting into his system. He's not really about enjoying it or being in any way classy or anything like that, right? And so that worked for Season 1 and 2 and 3, and then in 4, after we've had that so established for so long, the writers turned this upside down. Yeah. And turned it from kind of a funny thing that Daniel mocks and that Johnny never defends to, hey, actually, there's a fucking really heartfelt gut punch reason for this.
Yeah, the writers do that throughout this entire franchise. They keep turning things right on their heads. Like, we think that we know something and then they flip it around. They flip the script all the time. And I'm
probably getting the song wrong, but something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll bet that Johnny doesn't even really know why he drinks that. It's so deeply bedded at this point, and he was so young when he had that box of mementos. He might not even really connect that this was his father's drink and that's why he goes for it.
Yeah, I wondered that. It's funny you bring that up. I did wonder that at first. I thought when they introduced this in Season 4, I thought, is he aware? Because he looks to be about 7 or 8 maybe, when he has that can.
Yeah.
So I started thinking maybe that, but no, I think they want to make him aware. I do. And,
yeah, maybe. It's hard to tell. But his mom did take that box of stuff away. That broke my heart.
Yeah, that was sad. She
Yeah.
makes bad decisions. And I do think, though, by the way, I'm going to jump subjects a little, but speaking of this, I think when the show does end, I think we're gonna have it revealed that Kreese is actually his dad.
You think so?
Yeah, it doesn't really fit the timeline, but I think it's too good that they won't. I think they'll have to do it. I think that's it's odd, but I think that's where they're going to want to go with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they can make that work or how they can make that fit, but I mean, it's certainly been speculated out there in the fandom for a long time now.
It would explain a little bit of why Kreese is the way he is with Johnny. And
Yeah.
why he's and that maybe it's not just that he's his best student or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how the timeline works. We talked about this before. Does the timeline almost work, but not quite? Isn't it like...
Yeah, that's what we came up with. It almost works, but it's a little murky. It's a little tough to crowbar it in, but I mean, I don't know. These writers are creative. They can probably figure it out. But I mean, Kreese went to Vietnam in '65. I think that's what...
That's established. Yeah, 65.
And Johnny would have been conceived probably in '65, probably born in '66.
Let's think about it for a sec. Yeah, he would have been born in 65. So, okay, so maybe right before Kreese, they could work it out. That right before Kreese goes to Vietnam, he has unprotected sex with Johnny's mom and then takes off. And then when he comes back, he figures it all out. That works. But you're thinking Kreese would have pulled out, right? That Kreese wouldn't have...
What?
Like, Kreese wouldn't have gone ahead and impregnated somebody. He would have been more careful in the 60s. That he was more responsible. Do you think Kreese wears a rubber? I don't. He doesn't seem like the type. And even if so, he's probably violent enough in bed where the rubber has a good chance of breaking.
Oh, my word. Where does your brain
I
go?
do imagine that he could have. Now, I know he was with Betsy right before he left.
Yeah, he was very in love with Betsy.
They could fudge this by a couple months, that maybe this was right before Betsy.
They could.
That's believable.
It could have been before Betsy and completely unbeknownst to Kreese. Who knows? And maybe he finds out when he gets back from Vietnam and he knows that he's lost Betsy, she's gone, and he finds out about this, and he kind of watches Johnny grow up from afar.
Yeah, like an Obi-Wan situation.
Yeah.
Where he kind of watches over Luke from afar.
I love it when we mix up our franchises.
Yeah, that is a good time. I can also tie this into Creed a little bit.
Yeah.
The Creed movie.
Yeah.
About how the timelines are a little funny. You know, that like you have to really play with it. You got to go, well, okay, so Creed was born after his dad's death.
Yeah, they made that timeline pretty tight in Creed, though.
It was right, barely workable. Yeah. Barely workable, but okay. So here, and then you never see his brother or sister, by the way, which is odd. His half brother and sister
That's what I kept thinking.
They never come around. They're not involved. They never get brought up. Nothing. Yeah. But anyway, Johnny with the Coors Banquet. I really like this. It's exactly this show's style. Yeah. To get a joke out of an idea, a long running joke, and then to also get something serious out of it, and emotional and a little bit of a gut punch. Yep. They do that with so many things on this show. They
get you in the field.
Absolutely. Even down to like Johnny flipping the bottle cap, when he does that. Yeah. And then it's funny. At first he was just doing it just to be a dick. But then Sam ends up doing it. She steals his move, and it's kind of indicative to her dad that, hey, I actually think Johnny's fucking really cool. Yeah. Watch this. She flicks the thing in the...
That was sweet.
It was another opportunity to take something that was usually just a little bit of a kind of cute little symbol of something, you know, and then to actually to take it into the storyline a little bit more. So anyway, I really love this. I thought this was one of the better moments in season 4. We bag a little bit on Cobra Kai season 4 because it is so disjointed and there's so much forced shit with Johnny and Daniel fighting again and all this stuff that it gets a little old. But this was one of the greater moments in the show.
It was, yeah.
It was a great reveal. So, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Please don't forget to like. Please like. Yes. We need the support.
Hit the like button
on this channel. We got some fucking
subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. We got awesome people already, but we want more, and that's
share the video.
From liking, subscribing, clicking bells and shit. So we'll be back tomorrow, guys. We'll talk fucking Halloween and Creed and all kinds of other things coming up, as well as Cobra Kai. Thanks for all the support. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.